Hi. Well, what do I want?
Brandy, sir.
Right. Well, what's the matter? Do I look funny or something? Might it not be well for you to cut down on the drink a little? Am I bothering you? Not particularly. Where are you going? See that Knox dancer again? Now, wait a minute. Don't start telling me my business. You're taking a big chance, Prendergast. Those temple Knox dancers are high-caste Hindu girls, and attention from anyone outside their own caste is apt to result in his disappearance some dark night. You mind your own business and keep out of my affairs.
Come on, old fellow, let's be toddling along.
Hey, take your hand off me. Who are you pulling?
Just run home and sleep it off. There's a good chap.
Just for that, I'm going to have another one.
You've had more than you can carry. Getting drunk in this country is a good way to get into trouble. Come on.
Here, what?
Don't pull me. What?
Say, why don't you look where you're going?
He's supposed to be an archaeologist, but the only thing he's discovered so far is the dancer Shandu over at the Kelak Temple.
हम लोगों का बंद रेस ने मार दिया. Why hast thou slain one of Kalai's little ones?
I didn't mean to kill the little beast. He jumped on my shoulder as I came into the temple, and I struck him with my crop.
Why camest thou here to defile our temple by thy presence?
Well, the temple's open, isn't it? Take your hands off me, you swine.
Silence. Thy speech is as profane as thine act.
That's it. Tell my fortune. And find out what these dogs will suffer when the governor hears about this.
Through the sacred eyes of Kalai, I see the Sahib has been sent by learned men to our country to wrest from our monuments and temples the history of our wisdom and the history of her past. Sahib has deceived those who sent him. He seeks not the wise men, but their gold. Ere he leaves Asia, his pocket shall be filled to overflowing with bright gold. The gold shall not be his, but he will not scruple to take it, knowing that on every rupee shall be written the curse of Kalai. Devil Sahib, we may not punish thee, but Kalai will not forget. Sometime, somehow, somewhere, Kalai will mete out justice. It is said, Sahanto, Bhavatu, Shanti, Shanti, Om.
I'll show you what I think of you and your curse.
Oh, no!
shave.
They might have killed you, Sahib. And they will kill me when they find me.
Yeah, well, they shan't find you, Shanda. How did you happen to be in the temple?
I had departed from the temple after the dancing ceremony. But when I knew the Sahib was in danger, I went back to help him.
How did you know that I was in danger?
My people feel the troubles of those they love.
That's very interesting.
It was almost 20 years ago, Mr. Ellis.
Proceed, Professor Potter.
Well, my colleagues here and in England financed this expedition. That is, Mrs. Potter and I, put this Prendergast in charge. We understood that the backers were to share in the glory or the profits that might result.
Come to the point. Horatio, don't be so long-winded.
Hyacinth, control yourself. You know, I can't see a thing without my glasses.
Well, why don't you put them on?
Oh, I'm afraid I left them at home.
Oh, they're in your pocket. Stupid.
Don't be absurd, Hyacinth.
And you want me to find this Prendergast, is that it?
I have found, that is, Mrs. Potter and I have found this Prendergast. It seems that...
I was out shopping one day last week, and my attention was attracted to a Hindu woman who gave her name to the clerk as Mrs. Prane. Now, I put two and two together and did a little snooping.
Mrs. Potter means investigating.
I said snooping, and I certainly mean snooping.
And what did you snoop? I mean, find out.
That this Mrs. Prane and her husband live on a big estate in the suburbs. This Mr. Prane is an invalid in a wheelchair, and he's attended by an English nurse.
Do you believe this Mr. Prenne really is Prendergast?
I know it. Any man would need more than 20 years and a pair of paralyzed legs to fool me.
And you both want to share in this Hindu treasure, is that it?
Certainly.
Well, naturally, it would strengthen our position if I were to act as attorney for all the investors. Have you the names and addresses of these people by any chance?
Ah, I have it.
You're crazy. I have it.
The cranial fissure on Homo neanderthal is an endemic aberration. I know I'd find it if I kept on. Oh, no, it's out this way.
That's the absent-minded creature that I've been living with for 35 years. And now he'll spend the day in the museum among the mummies. And when he comes home tonight, he'll tell me he lost something. And if he does, I'll crown the numbskull with a poker. Here is the list of the investors. It is correct, except that some of them have died. But you get in touch with all of them, except the dead ones.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Before we begin, I should like to check over this list and see if the remaining investors or heirs are all present. Mrs. Potter and Professor Potter, I know. Mr. John Armstrong.
Right. I'd like to get this over with as soon as possible. I'm in the insurance business, and I have a couple of hot prospects for this afternoon.
But we shan't keep you long, Mr. Armstrong. Mrs. Geraldine Carfax.
Yes, I'm here. Although I did have to get off of my deathbed to get here. You see, I suffer so from indigestion, and my blood pressure is so low that
I'm in the insurance business. Won't you read over our new policy? We have a new disability clause.
no one will ever be able to cure you but the spirit. No.
I beg your pardon, but I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Stella is my companion, and I never go anywhere without her. You see, I have fainting spells due to my operation.
Let's get down to business.
Mr. David Fell.
I'm here.
Say, maybe I can interest
No.
you in a... Thank you very much.
Now, you ladies and gentlemen represent the remaining investors or heirs of the investors of the Prendergast archaeological expedition.
I should like to know, that is, Mrs. Potter and I should like to know, what became of the English investors?
There were but two of them, and they died 6 months ago, suddenly and very mysteriously.
Mysteriously?
They were murdered. Scotland Yard is still investigating the case.
That's neither here nor there. Have you seen this Pren person?
Yes, Mrs. Potter, I have. He admitted his identity and explained that he changed his name to Pren for personal reasons. He informed me that he would be very glad to see and meet the investors and discuss a settlement on certain conditions.
And what conditions?
Mr. Pren will explain all the conditions tomorrow night. He wants to have you all at his home at 8:30. Well, if you meet me here in my office at 7:30, we can all go out together.
Okay, I'll be here. And incidentally, while I'm gone, I wish you'd look this policy over. I shan't be able to go, my dear. I must be at the museum. They're going to unwrap the mummy of Ramesses IV.
Listen, you worm. You'll be at Mr. Pren's house tomorrow night and forget all about Ramesses IV, or I'll make a mummy out of Potter the First.
Ramesses, I used to smoke them.
Well, I beg your pardon, Professor. I'll keep my hat if you don't
Here,
mind.
take your own hat.
Although I ridicule the whole thing as an ancient superstition, I came to know that the priest was right. Suddenly, in the dead of the night, I hear the soft poundings of the tom-toms. Grotesque shadows appear on the walls. Great hairy hands press on my throat. Oh, no! Strangling. Strangling. My health has been destroyed. And as you see, I'm a helpless cripple. All these years, I've wandered over the globe, seeking some place where I could find peace. But nowhere in this world can you escape the curse of Kali.